So, welcome everyone, and congratulations to you all for completing the first 2 weeks. The first week was about really coming in awareness, in contact with your body, because that is what you can feel the most easily. Your body is sensations, the feelings inside your body, the emotions are always closest to you and you can easily feel them. So that is where we started by rotating our consciousness throughout the body. And I would urge all of you to keep continuing that practice. Whatever phase of the practice you think you need right now, keep continuing with that. And then only move to the next phase. We are doing this over 21 days, but you don't have to rush through it. Keep attending the evening meditation. But for the morning, if you feel I still want to do the rotation of consciousness, you can use the recording. And then week two, we try sort of expanded that from the body to the thoughts by anchoring on the breath. And when we are anchoring on the breath and we see that now we are getting drifted into some thoughts and some thoughts have this power over us, then we use the power of the sensations inside our body to start feeling the inflow and outflow of the breath and come back to the body, the breath again. So through this we cultivated greater awareness, expanding it further from the body outwards to the thoughts and the emotions in the body. And now, in the third week, we are going to get a glimpse of the here and now, which is the ultimate expanded reality. Experiencing everything inside your body, inside your mind, your thoughts, your emotions, your breathing, sensations in your body, your feet, your chest, your heart, your lungs, your breathing, your eyes, your nose, your forehead, your hands, everything. And then outside, sensing all of it around you, the sensations through your sense organs and sensing other people, what they are speaking, how they are acting, just witnessing it completely without filtering it through the thoughts of your mind. What we typically fall prey to is we are looking at something, we are communicating, talking to someone, or someone is behaving in a certain way, and parallelly, our mind is verbalizing everything that we are seeing. Like we are sitting in a car and we are looking at the mountains, some river, or some cute kids playing, a dog, and then the mind is saying all of that. Wow, such a beautiful mountain! Look at that kid. Oh, maybe that dog is going to bark me. Oh, that dog has a black tail. Oh, there is a red flower. Oh, the road is quite wet and slippery now. Maybe so. All of this chatter is going on still in the mind. And what you would notice is the chatter is very biased. It is only talking about the minutest fraction of what it is seeing and mostly what it is worried about. And because you are now looking at reality through this filter, you are not able to get a full picture of whatever you are witnessing. You're only trapped in that myopic view of reality, the myopic view established through your thoughts and the negative voice in the head, which is saying, oh, there's a red flower. Now, when the mind is saying, oh, a red flower, I am missing some beautiful sound of a bird coming from somewhere, or I am missing a joke that somebody is cracking, or I am missing the flower in its fullness. I'm just not witnessing the flower. And to be able to see the flower through my senses, I don't need the mind. This is very simple. Now, let's expand on this further. I don't have a presentation for you guys today. I didn't really get the time to do this, so I'll just talk to this on this topic. So first of all, I have some notes, so I will go through them so that I make sure I don't miss anything. So, the first thing I wanted to talk about is what it is. So, it is this expanded awareness of everything in your context inside out without thinking about it, and without getting entangled in the thoughts about it, without identifying with it. Okay, we will take an example. Let us say you are in your house, and your spouse and your children are around you, and your child is making a lot of noise, and you're trying to focus and concentrate, you're working, and now that noise is bothering you. Your expected scenario is there should be calm around you. Now this is the expectation of the mind. As soon as you hear your child making a lot of noise, you get bothered by it because it does not match your expected outcome. You are now addicted to silence, and your mind gets angry. It sends you an angry thought. Now instead of just witnessing that thought, you get entangled in it by identifying with it, by saying, oh, now I am angry. Now your identity is, I am angry, I am calm, I am studying, I am angry. These are all parts of identity. All of those temporary, fickle identities that the mind constructs. And now, when you're angry, of course, you will shout. And it'll take away the peace and the calm from that moment even more than what the child did. So, eventually, what, like, who did this to you? The taking away of the calmness, the peace, the silence, not the child. It is your reaction to it. It is your entanglement with this addiction that everybody around you should be silent because I need silence. And it destroys your peace even more, to the extent that you spend 10 minutes like chatting with the guy and shouting, and your heartbeat, your breath is all over the place, and you're angry, and you're no longer feeling comfortable in the situation. And you've messed this up even more, because now the focus that you had in your mind, in your work, that focus is also destroyed. And you take maybe 10, 20, 30 more minutes to come back to focus. But what the mind does is, because you are identified with you being angry, the mind holds on to that identity. It does not want to lose it, because that's what we call ego, because you don't want to lose your existence. And if we are identifying with the temporary, and the temporary cannot exist forever, we keep dying this death of identity every moment, which becomes painful, and which is why we become sad. Now instead of doing all of that, and in all of this we are blaming the child, that you spoiled 1 hour of my precious work time, and you are doing more damage to the child. Now the child thinks that I am a damaging person. I always annoy my mother. I am not like worthy. I am not good enough. You are programming your own child with these thoughts and vibrations. Like, even at times, if you may not say anything, and the energy inside you changes, because I've talked about this, that we are vibrational beings living in a vibrational reality. We communicate much more information through our vibration than through our words. And the child is soaking all of the energy that we are transmitting through their receiver, through their energy receiver. And now we are programming our child, and then we are like day in and day out worrying that why is my child not confident, why is my child not like very focused, why is my child always shouting, or why is my child very quiet. Like, every attribute of the child that we find, oh, this needs fixing, it does not need fixing in the child. It only needs fixing in the environment. And you are the environment. You are offering your environment to the child 24 by 7. Like, it's much more than the food you offer. It's much more than the house you offer, the toys you offer. You are yourself the most dense vibrational environment for the child. So, like, this is just one example in our day to day life. There are gazillion such things happening moment to moment, and they are destroying our peace of people around us, and breaking our focus, and therefore taking away the kind of life that we can create for ourselves and give to the people around us. Right? Now, instead of this, if I was just like, I am working and now there is sound coming from the other room, I would perceive this, okay, there is sound and it is not allowing me to work without saying all of this in the mind because I know this, I can see that. I will just get up, go to my child, and I'll be like, Kavan, my son's name is Kavan. Kavan, baby, I'm really trying to focus. I have something to work on, and it is very urgent. I need some quiet. Can you please lower your voice or go to another room? And he would be like very fine in understanding that. And even if the guy doesn't understand, I can move to another room. I can lock my room. Like there are a million other options. I can tell my family beforehand that today 3 to 4:30 please do not disturb me. And when this is how we behave amongst each other, it becomes so clear. There is clarity among people. And people are not like, man, this guy is not responding to me, he's not talking. People know, oh, this guy is working. And this is a clear understanding amongst us, and nobody is angry. So that is the example of what it is. And the first one was when we are identifying with the thoughts, we are magnifying the ego by acquiring more and more personality traits. I'm angry, I'm peaceful, I'm working, I'm a scholar, whatever, like I'm an idiot, whatever. And the other is when I do not identify with it, I just perceive it. And I perceive it how? Through my awareness, through my experience. Because one thing is for sure that I am experiencing everything. Experience is happening all the time. And the awareness of that experience, I just respond to it normally without making that my identity and making it a life or death situation. Okay. And the second question is, why do we do it? How does it help? That also, I think, mostly got clarified with this example because it helps us have not only have a calm mind, be more productive, be more responsive, be more effective, be more efficient, and be much a greater success and an achiever in our lives. Be more loving, be more kind, be more compassionate, but it helps us see reality as it is without the colored lenses of perception, the colored lenses of thoughts. You know, for example, what is the colored lens of thought? It's like, let us say, XYZ political party is really nasty and they are like spreading all kind of nonsense. And then when we meet somebody, we are having a conversation with them and we are like all chill about it. And suddenly that guy says, oh, I love that party, political party. And in fact, I am a worker of that political party. Suddenly, if we identify with that colored lens, we start feeling uneasy inside. And our perception of that person changes. Our body language changes, breathing changes, the way we speak the words, the usage of language, the tonality, everything changes. Even if we are going to be sweet on the outside, the other person would know that now this guy is not very happy with this. So if we do not wear these colored lenses to look at reality, if we remove these colored lenses, I can see things clearly as they are. Oh, this guy is a person who I met here. He's an engineer. He lives in Sector 23 and he has a lathe factory and he has two kids. One of them is 10 years and my son can probably play with him and he plays basketball. My son is also interested in that. And like, all of that, and then you're like, okay, this guy is in favor of this party. Like it's just a different preference. We are all different. One flower is red, the other is blue. They are just different. They're not fighting with each other. So that is that. And like if we are able to see reality clearly, we are not having delusions of reality. We are not having a delusional picture of reality. Example, let us say about the same example, this guy having affiliation with a political party and you having this perception that this political party is like not in favor of the class that you belong to, let us say. Like this is getting a little like in the wrong area, but like for the sake of an example, and then this guy comes to you And suddenly you're having like, they visit you 3 times. And then your mind is having this delusion that probably this guy is scheming against us. They are going to harm us in a certain way. And your mind is thinking about all of these negative outcomes, and your reality changes. Suddenly you have fear. You see that person, you have fear. You get a call from that person, you have fear. Or let us say, like, you are working in a company and you are about to have your appraisal, and your friends tell you that I have heard that my boss is, your boss is really unhappy from you, and you are going to get a scolding, and probably you are going to be demoted. And now your entire perception of reality will change with that just one piece of information. Like, it does not change anything else. You are there, your boss is there, you have performed the way you performed, it's all history, it's all gone. But now you are expecting a demotion, you're expecting your boss to be angry with you. And believe me, no more often than not, that is what will happen, because you are sending out that energy all the time. And which is the reason why the delusions we have in our mind also manifest in reality. When we are afraid and angry, we meet people who are afraid and angry. And then instead of changing, removing this colored lens, we blame those people. Like, why is this guy afraid? Why is this guy insecure? Why is this guy always angry with me? The problem is not there. It's just a mirror. This reality is a mirror. Because you are afraid and angry, the reality is of reflecting back to you the same. So the solution is to come from those delusions into reality, remove all of these colored filters, and how is to be in the here and now. And that also allows you to give the best response to the situation and direct energy through the channel that you are in a most effective way into the outside reality. And as I said, you're just mere channels of energy. We are all empty channels. We are like, this is just a body and we are empty channels, and we are directing that energy to manifest things out into the world. And we can do that much more clearly, much as superheroes do in Hollywood movies. Like, they do something and then outside something happens. This is the exact power that we have. Like, it's just not happening in that fashion. Energy is flowing through us. And if we are clear and here and now and present and not entangled in the thoughts, not overthinking, then we can, like, completely direct that energy and just like a superhero, create everything, whatever we want, the most beautiful, loving reality around us, and change the bubble of reality that we are living in from a hating, fearful, angry reality where everybody is like that, to a reality where everybody is empathetic, everybody is loving, caring, soft, grateful, and that grace we can bring upon us. So, yeah. And how do we do this is, one of the ways is through these practices that we are doing and expanding our awareness from the anchoring from inside out, from anchoring on the body, the breath, the emotions, watching them, and then gradually expanding that to watching everything around us, people around us, watching their reactions, watching their emotions, watching their words, listening to the sounds, smelling whatever I am, and then responding to that. And we can, like, there are meditations to do that and develop this more and more. Yeah. And what other, like, things can we do to cultivate this is, one is, as I said, set reminders, alarms, put wallpapers, put sticky notes, like alarms, like, how are you feeling right now? How is your breathing feeling right now? These reminders bring you back to the body instead of the mind. See, the challenge is that we are in the mind, we need to bring it back to the presence. And the first step of presence is the body. So, like, putting sticky notes, this is what really helped me in, like, the one of the first stages of my, like, hooking from this trap of the mind. I would put reminders and sticky notes everywhere, tons and tons of reminders. Feel your heart. कैसा feel कर रहा है? How are you feeling emotionally? Are you feeling good right now? And immediately when I anchor on my feelings, because feelings reside in the body, if I am not feeling good, I can immediately feel this in the body, that my breath is unsettled, my heartbeat is unsettled, and I'm feeling some contraction here, here around me. And this contraction manifests in life. So how do you respond to it? And immediately that you become aware of this feeling, you start responding to this feeling with love. First of all, you acknowledge it, and like even speaking to the heart, everything is all right, we got this, it'll all be okay. Putting reminders like respond from love, respond from the deepest corner of your heart. And if you're not settled in the deepest corner of your heart, allow yourself to settle, and you will choose not to respond in that moment. You will choose not to do, like, not to respond at all. That's choice you can make. And the reading that I have suggested, the handbook to higher consciousness, I hope you guys are reading it. A lot of this is mentioned there in a very, very beautiful way, and it can help you really like see through whatever is happening in your life. And then you can set also checkpoints through the day. Like you're going on through the day, and then there is a checkpoint, there is an alarm. Anchor back to yourself, anchor back, realign. You can do that. And then also earmark specific activities during the day. Like you will say, whenever I'm preparing my food, I will try to be here and now, smell all the smells, listen to all the sounds, taste everything completely. When I'm chopping the vegetables, I'm completely chopping and like soaking into the feeling of chopping a tomato versus chopping a cucumber versus chopping an onion, completely tuning into the feeling, the sensory experience, the experience directly versus experiencing it through the thoughts. While working, while speaking, I'll anchor to my body while speaking, while walking, while listening to somebody, while bathing. And so you can do this, put reminders, put checkpoints, earmark specific activities, and then you can label your thoughts to establish a separation from your thoughts and who you are, because you are awareness. You are awareness who is conscious of the thoughts. You can see the thoughts. Like you can often say that, okay, what are you thinking right now? Oh, this is what I'm thinking. So who is it that knows that this thinking is happening? If I was the thoughts, I wouldn't have this separation. Now, because I am a witness standing here and these are the thoughts, just like me behind a waterfall, and the waterfall is gushing. Similarly, like there's a gushing of thoughts in front of me, and I can see them. So, establishing yourself in the seat of seeing and labeling the thoughts whenever thought arises. Oh, this is an angry thought. This is a jealous thought. This is a scary thought. This is a happy thought. This is a sad thought. This is a fulfilling thought. This is an angry thought. Whatever, like you can just label it. And then you do not get caught up into that thought or the emotion arising out of you giving energy to it. Okay, so yeah, I think we have some time. I also wanted to like share another perspective, another way of helping you take a look at this. Uh, till this point in time, are there any questions, anything, any feedback, anything you would like to share? Because so that I know, like, it's not only me and I am speaking for my own satisfaction, but it is going through, and there is something, whatever is unclear, whatever is that you would like me to expand on, please feel free to chime in, type out something, or if everything is clear, just type clear, or just type C if everything is clear till now. Okay, Harjot says C. Thank you, Harjot, for responding. Surjit says C. Thank you so much for your response. I know that you're there. And Deepthi also says clear. So I guess most of you are clear. Now, because this is so important, this is the fundamental aspect of life, and this is what impacts everything in our life, which is why it is very, very important to really understand this and look at it from different angles. And I'll use another story to really bring this out, which is that. The purpose of doing all of this is to really transcend the person, the concept of the person that we have, the body, the mind, the thoughts, the emotions, and transcend the person to discover that there's more to you than the person. And we are always caught up in this person as the center of your life. Me, my body, my thoughts, my expectations, my preferences, my likes, my dislikes, my hopes, my desires, my biases, my perspective, and my body, my feeling in the body, my unease in the body, my health. We are always caught up too much in that. But it can be really refreshing and empowering to know that there is something which is much more uh, expansive beyond the concept of this person. Once again, let me just adjust the volume. Yeah, it can be really empowering to know that there is something much more than the person. And the purpose of this is to really see that while we go through our lives, and for example, you might be going through a low point or a high point. You might have hit a certain success. You might have fallen in love. You really might have found something which you're really enjoying, or you really might be struggling right now in some ways. But you know that none of this is permanent, and it cannot be a source of satisfaction or dissatisfaction. If something is bringing you joy right now, you know that very soon that joy may taper down, because that joy cannot be dependent on something external. Like if you buy something, let's say a new phone, it might give you a lot of joy on day one, but you know that like after 10 days or 10 months, it'll just be a phone and you will not worry about scratches on the screen of the phone. Same with buying a car, same with a new job, same with setting a new business, same with a new relationship. Everything, like there is a high initially because like the ego feels I have something new, but then it kind of tapers down. So this awareness helps you know that you cannot depend on these things, external situations, for you as a permanent source of satisfaction. Like even they will dwindle down and become the opposite. Like a joy from something might become like anxiety from the same thing. You might have joy because of a car initially, but that might become anxiety later for someone. Oh, somebody might scratch my car, somebody might steal my car, my car. So it can even turn into an opposite. So this is really not the source of life. High becomes low and low becomes high. So you can enjoy all of this. I'm not saying that we don't need to enjoy all of this, but with the knowing that it is not going to last forever and cannot be a source of continued satisfaction. For example, you may not like a place. And it is okay to strive to be in a better place, which has a better weather, which has a better air quality, which has a better community, which has a better livability, better sources of food and all of that. It's okay to strive for it. But then what is an ideal place? It is not a place which has all of this, because all of this is going to be temporary. Like let's say for example, there's an ideal place where there are mountains and where there's enough food and where everything is taken care of. You don't have to worry about your relationships, your health, your business. Everything is taken care of. It's most ideal. But what would happen? Like initially you might be very happy about it. After a while boredom would set in, because you have nothing really challenging. It is the challenges that bring that high in you, that create that energy to overcome those challenges. And because there is no challenge, your energy level will drop, which is why when we are not engaged in something, our energy level drops. And your alertness will also go down, because alertness is because of our ability to engage with the world. So, what is the best place? The best place is where you are, spiritually speaking, and discover the transcendent, what transcends this concept of this person of the limited you, the limited source of satisfaction, to the permanent in the here and now. And while doing that, you can use all of your problems, all of your things that you feel can be better as challenges to solve those problems, as encouragement to in fact go deeper into your own selves. Like if you're faced with a challenge, let's say with your relationships, that can be an encouragement for you to go deeper by realizing, okay, it is not solving this external relationship which will give me joy. It is going deeper, which is going to give me permanent joy. And you're not running away from where you are taking necessary action. Like if you feel that something needs to be improved, it is worth improving and it can be improved, and like this is the thing which is worthy of being worked on, you will work on it to improve it, being here and now, not running away from where you are, while like working on bettering your relationships, like giving love to them, nurturing them, bettering your health, working out every day, having good food, bettering your emotions, taking your like kids to the best place for learning, offering them the best environment, but also knowing that this is not the permanent source of satisfaction. Having the best of health will not make me the happiest person in the world. It is accessing that transcendent reality. So you are doing all of this, but you are parallelly discovering the deeper dimension, which has nothing to do with what goes on outside while you are enjoying everything that is going on outside. So it's really not about managing the external life better, and like because essentially there is nothing wrong with the external reality. So like just trying to constantly fix the internal external reality is a wild goose chase which will never end. And we can really enjoy the way things are. In fact, when we are not accepting the way things are, we are not even able to enjoy what there is to which can be really be enjoyed. Like there was a time in my life when I had moved from Dharamshala to Chandigarh, and I was like, Dharamshala was so beautiful, and this is a city, and it is polluted, and I have to live like in a cement house. I was living in a mud house and a farm, and I was not accepting being in Chandigarh. And believe you me, I was not able to enjoy anything about being in Chandigarh. I was not being able to enjoy the lake here, the beautiful greenery around me, the people, the community here, nothing. So the same is with every other situation. So what do we really want to do is discover the dimension within. Any questions at this point in time? Or is it becoming like a lecture or something?
Well, sometimes, it's me again, Ritu. Yeah. So sometimes, what comes to your mind is that why only all this shit keeps coming to me? Why nobody else thinks about all this? You know, do you understand this? So somewhere, why is it this unrest only in me? And sometimes I guess because we are social beings and there's so much of involvement of others into our lives as well. So it's both ways. So sometimes you think that, am I the only one who keeps getting affected? Am I the only one who has something to do with it? Why am I the one who's getting unrest all the time? So, that
Hmm.
why me feeling. So, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, so the why me feeling can be resolved very easily. And thanks for asking this question. It's a very important question, and I think almost all of us go through this. It's essentially a victim mentality where we feel that we are victims, and the world, the reality is happening to us. All of these events are happening to us, and being a victim, it feels quite disempowering that you are not in control and you cannot do anything about it, and these nasty things are happening to you, and all people are like really quite like strange characters, and they are behaving in all of these strange ways, and really spoiling the joy of your life. So it is an upside down view of life, and
Yeah,
which is when we
when I just, sorry, yeah, please, yes.
go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just coming back to your think about moving from Dharamshala to Chandigarh. And for something like this, you would question that why is it only me who's getting this unrest? Why others are kind of settled? So that kind of thing, and things like okay, so and if you, I totally agree with you that it is what we are feeding our mind which is leading to this feeling. So obviously, the moment you change the tune to the right radio channel, and you will have the right music coming out. But then, yes, this question keeps coming back, and yeah, that's why I asked.
So the question you were asking is, for example, when I moved from the mountains to Chandigarh, why is this need arising in me to be in mountains and nobody else has this need? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, yeah, like you mentioned that you had a lot of unrest and all of that. So I'm saying, and you would feel that yes, the others also have been there. And now what? Why am I so much in distress than, others? Why am I not accepting this? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like either I can question this why is this happening, or
Mm.
I can just face it as it is.
Yeah.
For example, like why am I feeling hungry? I
Mm.
am feeling hungry. Like nobody can change that. Now either I can run away from it or I can, but this is my life and my karma. I can't
Mm.
run away from it. Like for example, like you're right, these questions come like, but like no longer. I am not affected by these questions any longer, but they did bother me a lot for a huge while. Like I would think that I am having to do all of these odd diets to improve my health, but I can see people who are eating all kind of shit and their health is so much better than me, than mine. And I would have these ask these questions that why am I the only one who has to go through all of this?
Mm.
Right? I'm like, and I'm trying to cut down salt from my diet. That salt is this, and salt is leads to water retention, and it is like a mineral, it is acidic, and so on and so forth. And I'm like trying to cut down on salt, and then I would be looking at somebody who's like just eating all the salt in the world, and they're like the healthiest. And then like, what the hell? Huh? So, but it is actually this comes from I think a deeper space of lack of acknowledgement of our own selves, and it
Mm.
also comes from our own childhood, where we were not acknowledged for who we were. We were not acknowledged for how we felt. In fact, we were questioned. Like if we said something about something, some external thing, or about expressed ourselves, people would be like, why are you feeling like this? Like I'm feeling very sad today. And like parents would be like, why are you feeling sad? There's so much to be happy about. So they'll not listen to what you're feeling. They'll in fact unvalidate it. Ki, why are you
Mm.
should not be feeling sad? See, Arey bhai, I am feeling this. This is my feeling right now. You're saying I should not be feeling. That's your expectation. But I am. You can say whatever, but it does not change what I am feeling right now. So I think what you're saying, it also brings me to my own inner child practice. My inner child practice really helped me with this. I didn't have any relationship whatsoever with my inner child. And when I really worked on an inner child practice, established that connection, that loving relationship, that loving, nurturing relationship, all of these things automatically started to settle down. It's essentially the need to be acknowledged the way you are, and not feeling
Mm.
that I am not good enough, I am not worthy enough. Because only when we feel that way, because let's say there's somebody who's really earning hard to buy a Mercedes and then buy even a Rolls Royce, they don't think like, why is this desire only in me? That poor fellow is just happy begging, but they're just going after what they feel. It's in a to a varying degree. Different people feel unacknowledged in the world. So I think really establishing that inner child relationship is key to this. And I did do an inner child session also. I can share the recording on the
Yeah.
group if that helps you. You can go through that, and then we can perhaps have that session again if people on this group need it. A Zoom user has raised her or his hand. Please go ahead.
Hi, sorry, this is Ishmeet. I thought my name was coming as Ishmeet. For some reason, it's not coming.
No worries, Shishmeet.
So I wanted to say that, when you said that, I'm trying all these diets, to fix my health, uh, I felt the same way because, like I mentioned the other day, that I was going through, my own share of stuff when I got onto this journey. So I
Hmm.
feel that what happens is that we guys are the ones who are actually trying to find a fix other
Hmm.
than modern medicine.
Hmm.
Everybody else is happy popping in pills and
Hmm.
enjoying food.
Hmm.
That is where I think the disconnect happens, because that is where our disconnect happens from them, and our inward journey begins with ourselves. I don't know if I'm able to, explain what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah,
True,
that's
true.
so beautiful,
Yeah.
Ishmeet, and thank you for bringing this up. And I should have talked about this. So thank you for saying this. And yes, Ritu, it's like when we are looking at life in one way and we are finding that lots of things are wrong with us and our lives, and why it is not so with other people. In fact, we are tuned into that victim mentality, as I'm saying. And
Mhm.
what Ishmeet is saying is to re-establish a new story,
Yeah.
a new perspective for yourself, and
Mhm.
rewrite the story for yourself from being a victim to a creator of your own life. I can
Yeah.
see the same situation in two ways. Like just
Yeah.
Ishmeet just said, I can say that, okay, why am I having to do all of these diets? The other perspective might be, man, I am so enjoying all of this and I'm getting to eat all of these delicious foods. And these people do not like these. I can start to empathize with those people. Man, these people do not probably know about the amazing feeling that you get not by eating like pakoras. The after feel is so heavy, you feel drained, and these people have to take all of these afternoon naps. And I'm like feeling so high all the time. You can change all of that story and change the story for other people also, from like being people who are causing me trouble to seeing them differently. Like for example, there are a lot of occasions where we get entangled in relationships. Okay, this is my father, and with that identity comes a ton of other thoughts which sort of modulate my experience and my perception of the other person. Instead of that, if I free myself of those relationship tags and the relationship roles, and I'm like, this is another fellow traveler and he is
Mhm.
so caring, which is the reason he's why he's so worried about me. He's not after me. He's not saying like, what are you up to? Why are you doing this? You're like being foolish with your life. Like one is I can be really like complaining that he's always like finding fault in what I'm doing. The other is, man, this person is so concerned about me. Like every time he calls me, he's just worried about my life. Can there be a person who is thinking about somebody else all the time? Like here is this person who's doing that, and I'm like judging that person, that why is this person critical about me? He's not critical about me, he's just worried, he wants to safeguard me. It's another thing that he's not been able to, in his journey right now, find out that I need to let go of my son, and he's still like maybe trapped in some insecurities. I can see through the stories, the narratives playing on in his head, and where he is entangled. Okay, he's entangled in this reality where he really has to be protective, and he's acting out of his fear. And then I can pray and wish that other person well. Like maybe you also soon get to know this and disentangle yourself from all of this, that you cannot control everything on the outside. Everything is temporary. Please don't hold on to it. That will make you free in life. and make you feel so much better about yourself. So when we change this story, everything outside starts to change, and it's sort of becomes so spontaneous for me. And earlier it was not. And I agree with you, Ritu. Earlier I was like always negative. Like, why is this so? Couldn't have it been this way? And now I'm like, everybody feels so negative around me. Like, I'm like, why are they looking at it in such a way? There is such a beautiful way to look at the same thing. Like, I have some fruits with me. I can keep cribbing. Man, the weather is really hot. But versus that, I can say, like, I have like fruits ready for me. I can go out. I just had like a bowl of watermelon. Who is so fortunate? Like, there are monkeys and dogs out there. There are birds out there who die out of thirst. We had like about 1,000 animals during the heat wave that died out of thirst in Chandigarh. And I am so blessed. I'll rather focus on that blessing, express gratitude for that, because the moment I identify that blessing, I feel so good about myself and my life. It's just the focus, the dhyan that we are
Mhm.
practicing right now, focusing it on the
Yeah.
the so-called negative. And actually the negative is also not a negative. The negative is actually a teaching that the universe is wanting to give me. Why did I go through the tumor and asthma and all of that? I can look at it as negative. That, man, my health sucked. The universe gave me such a bad health, such a bad body. The other is, thank you. Had it not been this journey, I wouldn't have been here talking to you, sharing love with you people, expanding myself, meditating with you guys, having delicious fruit, and feeling compassionate about people, trying to help them. I probably would have been like banging people's cars and getting drunk and hitting them. Like, this is like a far cry from that. I can be so thankful about it. And it is only because of what I went through, I have the vision to see life like how it is. And I am trying to manifest a future which is so beautiful. I'm trying to manifest a tribe where people can hold each other hands, they can like speak to each other, they can express openly, where children can learn freely. Like, none of these ideas would have ever crossed my mind. I would have never met people I met. It's only because of this.
Mhm.
So yeah, like Ishmeet, you also wanted to, like, somebody raised their hand.
Yes, I did. I was just going to say that I so hear you when you said that, you can, it's the same situation, but you start seeing it differently. And I used to be one of the biggest cribbers. I was not happy. If it was raining, I used to cry. If it was sunny, I used to cry. It was literally like that. But
Hmm.
just about, this summer, we went to Kashmir, and in the mountains, like where there was no signal, we were in two different cars, thankfully. And
Hmm.
the one car, it went, we were like actually moving just together, but at one of the curves the other car went a little ahead, and just at that curve our car broke down.
Hmm.
And there is no signal on the phones to convey that we are here. And
Hmm.
this car is, because of the steep slope, it's going backward.
Hmm.
And these guys randomly just stop and they help us. And so they're, then the other car realized we're not behind and they came back.
Hmm.
And everybody's screaming, oh, the phones are not working, it's Eid today, the mechanics are not there.
Hmm.
And when we leave this car, how do we go where we were supposed to go? And I'm like, okay. So we'd packed this lunch from home, which was supposed to be a picnic up in the mountain. And
Hmm.
the curve where the car broke down had such a beautiful space. It had a little flat space on the side. So I said,
Hmm.
let's just the dari the food, and let's just, and they're all looking, are you mad? In the middle of the road.
Hmm.
I feel like we're in the middle of the mountains anyways. Only we're not on a greener patch.
Hmm.
So let's enjoy this. And you cannot imagine so much fun of me till we realized that that was the way out, because it was lunchtime, and we weren't going anytime sooner. So this is how it is, and I do also feel that gratitude is a very important role,
Yeah.
when our brain thinking changes, cribbing
Hmm.
being grateful.
Yeah, like that's so beautiful, Ishmeet. That example that you shared, it's exactly that. Like we can do this very thing in each and every moment in our lives. Like the highest form is just to be aware, just to look at it, like without being excited or without being too sad. That's the highest form. That's what we are like discussing today. But like that, an amazing leap is just to start looking at things afresh. Remove that red lens and put on that green lens. It is just swapping from one lens to the other. The ideal is to have no lens, but then it is actually also not a lens. It's not just a perspective, because the moment you start focusing on what is working and start thanking the universe for that, because actually whatever is happening, the universe has conspired through thousands and millions of years to make this happen for you and to give you these gifts. It is just that through our perception we are not able to receive them. Whether something seems positive, that's a gift that the universe has sent us. We have a roof on our heads, we have some money in the bank, we have food on the plate, we have people to reach out to, we have a nice place where we can go for a walk, we have a full body, we have a vehicle, we have a refrigerator, we have a vegetable vendor who comes to give us sabzi. Like there are millions of things to be happy about. But then even the things that we feel negative about, all of those are blessings too. Like I talked about my health. Or for example, the universe is also giving us guidance. Like there might be experiences when we mess up things and get in contact with some people who are really not don't have the right intention, and then we realize a while later that okay, I miscalculated. And through that experience the universe is helping us learn that how to really have the wisdom to see who you want to work with and not want to work with. This is how your wisdom is developing. Through all of those so-called failures, you get to know how not to hit the ball, and it is developing your wisdom. So actually, you can be full of gratitude for everything. It's like easy to start with the positive things and then build on top of it. It is easy. It's like either a full blown blessing you can see, or it's a lesson the universe is trying to teach you, or it's a gift through your own experience of struggle that will help you reach where you want to reach in life. So there are different forms, but all of them are like blessings. Ritu, does that like answer in any way? I think like we really need to go through all of this to really feel the essence, the importance of these things, because like talking about them can only make you feel as much. But then just
No, but
it
I totally agree that thank you for Yashvi for pitching in. Yes, it really helped, I think. And two things that come out very clearly is that one is that, the moment you change your outlook to things. So, what I understood is one is that uh, even in a negative situation, if you are looking at that same thing as a blessing because it has a lesson for you and something which it holds for you, it starts to make sense. And gratitude in every situation is another thing. Yeah. So I think one thing which came to my mind was that 5 minutes of gratitude practice, but what is the mind chatter speaking?
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you for this time that both of you gave. Yeah, thanks.
You're really welcome, Ritu. This is what gives me joy, so please don't thank me. I am completely here for to answer all of your questions however best I can. And like you're right. And the other thing I wanted to add is what you were saying. Like it's not just the 5 minutes of gratitude; it's the chatter of the mind. And as you start practicing this, in fact, your perspective opens up, that you start to see how actually reality is so in favor of you. and you start to identify the perfect sequencing, like how this is a dance completely aligned to take you where you need to go. And you start, like, tears start rolling down your cheeks, that, man, the universe is like doing everything to bring the exact right stuff to me, whether it is through struggles, through learnings of my blunders, through joys, through gifts, whatever. And it's a practice. And as you start tuning into being grateful, the entire reality starts to shift. As I said, like, your entire vibration changes, and you start attracting a higher frequency reality. When you are living in gratitude, you are identifying the positive things, you are being grateful, you are thanking, you are being happy about it, you're being joyous about it, you're dancing, then that higher frequency attracts the people who are in higher frequency, places which are higher frequency, and your entire reality shifts to that of higher frequency. And you are, like, literally mind boggled by the kind of gifts that come your way without asking. It's like a red carpet being rolled out for you, and you can just fly. It's literally that. It's more than that. So, like, it's all about just taking one step. It all can feel like really far out. It did for me just like some time back. It feels like a dream. So just taking that one step, like, I'm always in favor of that baby step. Okay, so just getting done with this, because I thought it was really important. What we were discussing was, like, the outside is really not important, and it is not a permanent source of satisfaction. We can really enjoy it, work to improve it if it needs any improving, and that gives us the energy, the enthusiasm. But at the same time, not being entangled with it as a source of lasting satisfaction. And if we actually look at the universe, it kind of reflects this model. And whatever is around you, like this laptop, this table, this microphone, this room, the light on the wall, everything is the universe. Like uh, the stars, the planets, everything is universe. But actually, the most essential is not the things that we see; it is the space between the things. And for example, like, the essence of the room is not in the things, but in the space between the things. Unless there is space, these things cannot exist. So the essence is the space, the unseen, that we actually cannot see. So there are, if you see, there are two dimensions. There is the dimension of form, which is the table, the chair, the light, the wall, the balcony, the plants, and everything. And then there is the formless, which is the space, which is the empty, vast space. And the vastness of space, you can't actually see it, because it is not something, it is not a thing, so it can't be seen. And you can just be aware of it. When you look out into the sky and there are millions of stars and planets, and there is the sun, there is the moon, you can see all of those things, but you can't see the vast, limitless, infinite, unbound space. Which is why everybody, like, as a child, you've always marveled at space, that, like, what is this, where does this end, and what, like, where is this, is the space, or that is the space. It is infinite. You can just be aware, you can just have a sense of it, but you can't see it, you can't, you can just know it. And similarly, it there's an to this equivalent of space and things in the outside, there is an equivalent inside of us, which is what we see, this mind, the body, and our essence. And this essence is inside of us. You cannot find it in the brain or in the body or in good health. Like, nobody even knows like how the brain works, or how the thoughts work, or what thoughts actually are. Nobody knows. Scientists knows that today. Like, even they don't even know that. And that is in the dimension of form. Imagine the formless. Then nobody has any clue on that. And which is the permanent, which is our essence. That that still level of the formless. So, what we are saying is that the essence cannot be defined, and just like the space around you, it has no boundary. So, how do you get in contact with it is by unknowing. You cannot know it as you know something in the world, yet you can become aware of it by unknowing, by letting go of all that you know, by letting go of all of your assumptions, your thoughts, your biases, your perspectives, and just being conscious of it. And realizing that you can be conscious of something. When you have a body, then there is a mind and there is some object out there. You can be conscious of it. You can be conscious of the senses, of your sense perceptions, and like that, just being conscious of it. And no, this being conscious is actually not the real transcendent, but it is being conscious of being conscious. And what that means is, please don't confuse what I'm saying. What that means is, when I asked you that when you drift into your thoughts, please come back to your breathing. What are you actually doing? You are into the thoughts, and suddenly you are conscious about the thoughts because you are witnessing the thoughts. You can feel the thoughts, you are conscious about the thoughts, and suddenly you became conscious of being conscious of the thoughts. You started seeing yourself seeing the thoughts. And that is why you can see later, oh, at some point I was watching my thoughts, at some point I was watching my breath. So there was watching of the breath happening, and there was this watching of the breath, which is what consciousness is, which is the transcendent dimension. So in this way, like life is like a dream, and you can also say like, is this reality a dream? Or whether when we sleep at night, is that a dream or is this a dream? Many philosophers question that. Like, is this the dream what we are doing right now? Like, am I imagining that there's a screen in front of me and there are some people on the other side and I'm speaking to them? Is that a dream? Nobody knows. Yeah, the only thing we know is it is dreamlike. It is dreamlike. It will just be like something in the air a while later. Like if you look back at life, doesn't it look like a dream? And perhaps when people are like the fag end of their life, everything behind them looks like a dream, as if it was never there, which is the nature of life. It is dreamlike. And it is better to realize it now than at the last leg of our life that everything was dreamlike. Everything was a dream. It has just evaporated like a figment of imagination. And like Shakespeare said, there was much ado about nothing. And people start to realize at the fag end that, man, I got really upset about what really seems nothing now. I get so angry and I wasted about like 10, 20 years of my life. What seems absolutely worthless and nothing now, which is the dreamlike quality of things, of the manifested reality. So we can enjoy all of it, but we don't need to entangle into it. And the the ability, now the other thing is like, because we are able to perceive this dream, the only thing we can be sure of is that there is experience. Without experience, this dream cannot exist, can it? Yes or no? Can a dream exist without being able to experience it?
No.
It cannot. So one thing is for sure, that we are experiencing all of it. So if we are experiencing all of it, that means that we are conscious. Without being conscious, you cannot experience. But then again, at that level, there is duality, that I am, and then there is something conscious, and it is laid on top of me, and now I am conscious. Like the take it one step further, and you are consciousness. And because you are consciousness, all of this is happening, and you are experiencing it. Like, does that, it's quite like a leap in terms of mental cognitive understanding. but I have really tried to like make simplify this and bring out the importance of this, because this is really what we are here. Like, people talk about their purpose of life. For me, the purpose of life is to be conscious, is to be consciousness, and take it one step at a time. Because I don't be like want I don't want to be like at my last moment, like I messed it up, man. I was too entangled in all the nonsense, and I wasted too much time in like things which were worth zilch. I don't want to look at life at like that. I want to give it my best. And then whatever may happen, like whatever my inner guidance system tells me to, the consciousness that I am, however it guides me through my joy, through my emotions, through my enthusiasm to learn this, and through my consciousness that I'm witnessing every moment, that how nasty I get when I get entangled in the thoughts. The same person I am like, this guy is really sucks. I hate this person. The same person, some new thoughts, just that. And those thoughts are going to be like, boom, just thin air after a while. And I'm completely crashing and rising in that. Ishmeet says, Gurbani says, Supne Jaya Sansar. Like, that is what it is. It's not without, like, it's not like some, it's all of this is there in Gurbani. All of the people who really realize this consciousness were so happy. And when you're happy, what do? You dance, you sing. And all of them sang. Kabir sang, Farid sang, all of the like everywhere, any religion you see, there is singing, there is poetry. None of the religious books are written like, it is beautiful here, you also must come here. They are like joyful, they are dancing, and they are using the form to express their joy. They are not addicted or entangled with the form. So yeah, with that, I think it's been a little, I don't know, heavy, or you guys could gain, like, even if like a minuscule from this, then that really makes, yeah, makes my day really great. Anything, any comments, questions, or then we can take 5 minutes and step into the meditation. Any comments from anyone? Or you guys can type in. If you're okay, you can just type in okay. And if you're okay with stepping into the meditation, you can type M, and we will take just 5 minutes and step into the meditation. Can you type M, please? Yeah, Ishmeet says M. Thank you, Ishmeet. I know that you're okay with stepping into the meditation. Ambrish is okay. Ritu is okay. Deepti, uh, Kav, Mongia, Harjot. So I think everybody is okay with stepping into the meditation. So Gigi also says okay. So just give me 5 minutes. I'll switch my camera off and just set up for the meditation. And in those 5 minutes, you can also find your meditation position and get to your meditation nest. And then we will begin. All right. I hope everyone is in their comfortable meditation position. If you are all ready, please type R so that I can begin and I can know or otherwise we can wait for somebody who has stepped out. Okay, so um, Brish, Ishmeet, Harjot, Kavita. I think four of you are here, and Ritu. I need to hear from Ritu, Deepti. All right. So today we will be in line with our new understanding of the here and now, which is the permanent here and now, the ever expanding, the limitless, the ever present, and that we are not this person that we have identified with throughout our lives, and the temporary accomplishments, grief, pain, thoughts, perceptions, likes, dislikes. We are none of that. And also that our satisfaction, short lived satisfaction through them, cannot be a source of permanent bliss and satisfaction in life. It is the space, the limitless, the consciousness that we are, the ever present, the light of consciousness that is showing upon things and creating these experiences that we are experiencing. And without the light, there is only dark. So while we are enjoying the light and the play of light through this manifested reality, we are not going to entangle in that, as we know that we are the light itself. So we are today going to do a thoughts and sound meditation. Please settle into your comfortable posture, whether sitting cross-legged on a chair, whatever is comfortable for you, aware of your posture, aware of your body sensations, your spine, an erect spine, your jaw, which is relaxed and loose, the lips, soft and relaxed, eyes, forehead, your ear, the scalp, your brain, the back of the neck, the shoulders, shoulder blades, the upper arms, lower arms, elbows, wrists, hands, palms, fingers, tip of the fingers, coming back to the center of the chest, the rib cages, the lungs, the belly, movement of the belly in and out, observing it, being aware of it, your waist, your bum. Feel the sensation of your bum on the floor, whether it is on a pillow or the bare floor. Feel the coolness or perhaps the warmth of it, the touch, your legs, the sense of the room that you are in, and anchoring into your entire body and the senses of the body. Observe your breath for 5 minutes. Perhaps at the nostrils, observe the breath coming in and going out at the nostrils. Feel your breath at your throat. Your relaxed breath, not controlling it, just allowing it to happen in its natural rhythm, pace, and form. Just admiring it, being aware of its movement completely, its movement in the chest. Observe any rising or falling in the chest with your in and out breath. And observe it in the belly. Observe the fullness of the breath at your nostrils, your throats, your chest, your belly, feeling it throughout your body and letting it happen on its own. Bring your awareness to your ear and start to hear the sounds around you, the variety of sounds coming from around you. Become aware of the perception of these sounds in your ears, in your left ear and your right ear. Hear them very closely. And now bring your awareness to only the sounds in front of you, perhaps. Sounds behind you, Sounds on your right, on your left, sounds coming from above you, from below you, probably, and sounds all around you. Feel them all closely, and also notice that there are some sounds which are there all the time, and some that pop in and then gradually move away, jumping from sound to sound, observing one sound at a time. Now observing sounds from far away, the farthest sounds that you can hear. Keep listening with very curious attention. Sounds from far, and sounds close to you. Perhaps sounds coming from your body. Some people may hear the sound of their heart beating. Listen to that sound closely. The sense of your breath, the gushing in your ear, the belly moving in and out, and the breath flowing through the nostrils in and out. Now, from the sounds, become aware of the mind. Move your awareness to the mind and to the thoughts flowing in the mind. You don't need to search for any thoughts in your mind. Just let the thoughts drift by and watch them as a bystander, as a witness. Watch those thoughts as if imagine you are sitting behind a waterfall and the water falling is the stream of thoughts pouring in front of you. And you're just looking at the waterfall, which is the flow of thoughts sitting behind it. If and when you get pulled in, you notice that some thoughts have power over you, but then you can always be aware of the body and begin to feel the floor, sense your hands resting and the touch, sense the belly, the movement of the belly, and just sense the fullness of experience. Just sitting here and being aware. Thank you. Have a lovely evening. Look forward to meeting you tomorrow.